spring cleaning season, which means you might be prepping for quite the battle against those hard to organize areas of your home. Tackling your closet is a great place to start. It can lead to more organization in your bedroom and trickle down to a more organized life.
It can also lead to arguments with your spouse and whether you want to get rid of it or not, but that's aside the point. We've got a friend of the show, interior designer and expert organizer Helen Austen with us this morning. Before we get started, guys, I got a question for you.
All right.
What happens when you try to fight your closet?
What happens, Bill?
It turns into a wardrobe.
I've never heard that. That was actually great. I appreciate it.
I didn't write it. That was our producer, Mike. So if you didn't like it, blame him.
Give credit where credit's due.
But no, we're so glad you're here today to help us out with some stuff. I know my wife and I just tried to do this, and it was a struggle. I wish we would have waited until after this interview, but you know, we'll see how it goes.
So let's start with just, what's a simple way to improve the overall look of the closet?
Use all the same hanger. So I'm a big fan of these velvet flocked.
Yes.
One color. So we're one style, one color. I like the velvet flocked because they actually hold your clothes. There's nothing more annoying than everything falling off when the dry cleaner stuff comes home. It should be put on a regular hanger because you also don't want that those chemicals trapped in those bags too.
Oh, yeah.
So you should remove the bags. But also this is slimline, so we can fit a lot more in your closet. If you're ever feeling like you're digging between, that means your closet's too full and you do need to edit down more. But these are great, all the same color. Don't buy different colors.
Okay.
It's easier on the eye, especially in a place where there's already tons of color and there's lots of things going on.
So we know no wire hangers, but no plastic hangers either?
No,
you don't like those
because
at all?
they don't stay. Things
What
stay
about
off of
the,
those.
what about the ones that have the hooks on them? Because that's what I use sometimes.
If it works for you and it's working, then that's great. Really, that's what matters with any of this. If it's working for you, then we're good.
But this is your good suggestion here.
I
the
love
slimmer
these,
ones.
and they're really easy to find and they're cheap.
True.
I have these in my closet, so can confirm they are working.
All right. Well, let's talk about stuff on our shelves. We've got a couple of shelves in our closet. I use a lot for like T-shirts and stuff, but I'm not nearly as organized as you are.
Yeah, so it's good to sort them out by type and kind, but I love anything that brings containment, especially things that have no structure, which is like clothing. So, and also when you do add bends, you definitely want to file fold. This is one thing that takes a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, what is file folding?
So it means that you're going to fold it so that you can actually see everything you have. So it's a quick way, and there's so many different ways to do it. I won't show you here. You can actually just YouTube. There's all kinds of options. The goal is to be able to stack them so that you see it like a file folder, like when you open a file.
So instead of like stacking it, like you'd think about going just bottom to top, you do it like this.
Because you can see it all. So the goal is not to dig. If you just place them like we normally fold, then you're like digging, and then it's a mess.
And then you're always shocked at what's at the bottom of the pile that you haven't seen in like 2 years.
And this works for like everything down to your underwear drawer. And I will tell you, it's one of those things I was resistant to originally because I'm like, I don't want to learn to fold a whole new way. But it has been actually really great. So if you have the motivation, give it 6 weeks of going ahead and trying to fold your T-shirts differently.
Yeah.
And then let it evolve from there. But it's actually a really great way to improve your closet.
No, that totally makes sense. I think one of the other important things is making sure you're maximizing on that space. What's the best way to do that?
Okay, so for that, we're actually over here. There are little spots in our closets where these random walls that are just blank. They're sometimes behind a door, or they just couldn't fill a rod or any structure in there. So 3M command hooks are my favorite. They're low commitment. We're not going to damage the wall. I have them lining whole walls in people's homes and in my own. Statement necklaces, bracelets, even all of your hats. Another trick with hats too, if you wear only a few of your hats but you collect a bunch, you can line the whole top of the inner side of your closet.
Yes.
And it looks neat, it looks intentional, it's like a little border, and then they're not dusty in a box somewhere, they're nicely displayed, and you might actually wear a few more of them than you were before.
And you get to see them too, exactly. Let's talk about stuff we want to get rid of, or maybe the trick for managing clothes that we no longer want.
Yes. So what I like to do is create the opportunity for you to edit your wardrobe or edit any place in your house and not make it an event. So this means we have places for donation stuff to land, especially in every closet that has a person sleeping in it. There should be a donate box of some sort. So this is a small example. This may not be quite big enough. It also may be just the right size to fit on a shelf. But what this allows you to do is as you're getting dressed or as you're doing life, you're like, oh yeah, I don't like this anymore. It doesn't fit. I don't want it. I have duplicates. It can go right there. And then when it gets full, you just just take it and you drop it at a donation center. Instead of this being this big event where then you have to like take an hour or more,
Yes.
drag the trash bags out, this makes it just like a daily kind of habit rather than a big event.
That's smart.
That is so smart. I did this 2 weeks ago, and I made it an event, and I can confirm those trash bags are still sitting in the back of my car.
There
Yeah,
it is.
it's overwhelming. It's
It
too many
is.
decisions, so this prevents decision fatigue because we're taking micro decisions rather than these big eventful ones with a whole stack of decisions.
I love it. Such great, helpful tips. Helen, thanks so much for taking the
Yeah,
time.